Hey friends, it's me, Jennifer Jayde. I just wanted to pop on here just for a little bit tonight. Let's get this all straight for you. Just because there was something I wanted to share with you around really stepping into your highest potential. And so I thought I'd just start a conversation. You are most welcome to contribute to the conversation. If you're watching live, please let me know and say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. And if you're watching the replay, let me know that you're catching the replay. Let me know where you're watching from. And please do contribute to the conversation, even if it's not live, by adding into the comments below. Tell me what is resonating with you, what's hitting home with you, what else is coming up for you that you're willing to share. Let me know if this resonates with you and if this is serving you in any way. That way I know which kinds of topics to bring to you and help you have breakthroughs with, and which ones aren't sticking so much. So that feedback would be phenomenal. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make sure that I'm sharing this with everyone. Oh, I possibly can. Yeah, I'm gonna change the title. What's going on? Let me correct that. That's hilarious. Okay. What's holding you back? Awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly share this out. While I'm sharing this out, if you can let me know where you're watching from, say hi if you're live, let me know if you're watching the replay and where you're watching from, and I'm gonna quickly send this out right now. Okay. Share it with my Savvy Soul Sister group. So if you're not in my Savvy Soul Sister group, let me know. I'd love for you to join us. It's Jennifer Jayde's Savvy Soul Sister group. We have a lot of amazing soul sisters in that group. We really uplift each other, support one another, ask questions, and respond to one another. So request to join that group if you haven't already. Cool. All right. And one last one here. Awesome. Okay, we're good to go. Okay, so I've got three biggest things. I mean, this is a topic I could talk about all night. So I've written down some keynotes already because I wanted to really hone in on the biggest pieces possible. So let me know. Hi, Kate. Yay, Kate's here. Kate's watching from New York. Woo woo. So let me know what's resonating with you. Let me know what's serving you. And if you have anything else you want to add in, maybe things that have helped you or served you along the way, please share it in the comments below so we can all contribute to the conversation and really help lift one another up. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with me, my name is Jennifer Jayde, and I help people awaken. Not only awaken for their own benefit, but so that they can step into the role of becoming an awakener. For those of you that are already part of my tribe, you've probably heard me talk about the term awakener already. These, to me, are people who have that whisper in their soul that they're meant to do more than the society norm. Go to school, go to college, settle for some job that is really sucking the life out of you and draining to your soul, and pray for retirement to come fast, and maybe get a motorhome and cruise around when you're retired. For some people, that is absolutely what they want, and there's nothing wrong with that. But for some people, it's not fulfilling. It's not in alignment for them. And so I deal with, there's kind of a spectrum of people I deal with. There's the people who, they have that whispering like, I don't feel like what I'm doing in my life right now is what lights me up the most. I feel like maybe there's something missing, something I haven't quite hit the bullseye with that really ignites my soul from the inside out. I'd like to know what that is. So I work with people on that end of the spectrum. I also work with people who are a little further along and maybe have already discovered what it is that lights up their soul, the message they want to be sharing with the world, the mission they have on their heart, the thing that brings them the most joy to serve others doing, and I help them get out of their own way to be of greater service, of higher impact, and further, deeper reach. So this could be someone who is in a job or a company that they actually love, and they want to step into a leadership role or elevate into a leadership role and lead others and serve others from their job or in their company that they actually really love being partnered with. I also work with people who are in a 9-to-5 that they don't love so much, and they're kind of curious about becoming an entrepreneur. What would they do? What would they offer the world? What do they have that would be of benefit to other people? And could they make a living doing that? Could they make a living doing something they love and maybe not have to punch a clock every day doing something that maybe they don't love right now? And I also work with people who are partnered with network marketing companies who really want to create their own movement with the brand, their own mission, their own tribe, and really stand apart and be a leader in that community. So if you're anywhere on that spectrum, you are in the right place. And tonight, I'm going to share with you the top 3 things, the top 3 steps to get out of your own way and get over the thing that's holding you back from really stepping into your full potential. So the first thing that I'm really feeling called to mention is that there'll never be a time that you're like, oh, look at me. This is my highest potential. This is the furthest I will ever go. I have learned all there is to learn, and I've done all there is to do. And look at me sitting on top of this mountain, and I know everything, and I've done everything, and I've been everything, and you know, this is the best I could ever possibly be. It is healthy and normal to always feel like you're just shy of your potential. And that does not mean that you are failing or that you're doing it wrong or that you're lazy or that there's something wrong with you. That is human nature. We are here to evolve. It is the nature of plants, of animals, of everything, to want to expand, to want to evolve. So there should always be a part of you that is continually seeking to evolve, to expand, to grow, and to learn. And so I really want you to welcome that feeling, rather than feeling inadequate. So that's the first message that I wanted to share. If you feel like you're meant to be doing something more, if you feel like you're not doing enough, if you feel like you're doing something wrong or there's something wrong with you, no, there isn't. You are just a human being that is programmed to desire to evolve and to learn and to expand and to grow. So nothing wrong with you, but there are definitely big ways that we can sabotage ourselves, we can upper limit ourselves, and we can spend years, decades, and in some cases our whole lives chasing our own tails in certain areas because we did not deal with the thing that was holding us back. And that's what I want to talk to you about tonight, talk with you about tonight. So let me know if you're watching live. Hey Laura, please say hi. Please let me know where you're watching from. Let me know if this topic interests you. And as I'm saying things, if they're resonating with you, let me know in the comments. And let me know if this is serving you so that I know this is a topic that means something to you. That way, going forward, I can really hone in on the things that you really want to be learning from and learning about. I don't know if this is serving you. So let me just make sure that I can see everyone. Hey guys, I have the comments. So I'm streaming on my phone, but I'm watching the comments on my laptop because I feel like my phone doesn't always show me all the comments. So Laura says hi, Amber's here, yay. Hi Kate, hi Nikki, hi Crystal, yay. Thanks ladies for being here. And any men watching, please don't be afraid to say hi. I've had more and more men starting to join us and pay attention and contribute to the conversation. So men, you are absolutely welcome here as well. So the first key point, let's dive right in. Whew, we are not messing around. Like I said, I could talk about this topic all night, but I really refined it down into 3 things here, 3 steps. So number one is identify your core power leak. Now, what do I mean by that? How do I summarize that into just a few words? A core power leak would be something that takes some time to get to. Like, you may have been doing some personal growth work, you may have been doing some self-development, where you're starting to peel back the layers, right? So maybe you've done some work around your money story. Maybe you've done some work around your money mindset. Maybe you've done some work around being more open to receiving. Maybe you've done some work around not feeling selfish because you're starting to take better care of yourself and you're starting to prioritize your needs and your energy above being a people pleaser for everyone else around you. So you start with kind of the surface level stuff. You can work through this with books and podcasts and, maybe some seminars here and there. Then you might be able to start working on some of the deeper stuff, the mid-range stuff. So maybe you've got some self-limiting beliefs going on and you've got some old patterns and habits that are no longer serving you, and you're starting to be able to see how they're affecting you and how they're holding you back. So you're stepping from maybe the surface level and you're starting to get into the deeper things. But what's really interesting and what's really groundbreaking and game-changing is when you can actually get even deeper than that and get to the core, the root of where all of these other things stemmed from, right? So there's an underlying reason why we had the mid-level and the surface level insecurities, stories, self-limiting beliefs. They actually have something in common. You may have more than one core power leak, but usually it's only between 1 and 3. Like this is the big mother load, right? This is the big thing. I'm thinking of like a tree. When it was a plant or a tree, and there's the roots of the tree, right, that are underneath everything. What's on top, you can see the trunk and you can see the branches. But it's funny when you're working with this self-development, this personal growth work, often we start with the branches because it's kind of the low-hanging fruit. It's the easier stuff to see and to work with and to deal with. We can more accessibly see these things with more accessible things like books and podcasts, and think, oh yeah, right, I do that too. Oh, okay. But to get to the deeper stuff, you've probably had to attend some live conferences or work with somebody one-on-one or do something a little more intimate than, your typical books, podcasts, and YouTube videos and things like that. So that's typically how you get to the mid-range. But to get to the core stuff, the core power leak or couple power leaks, I spent years trying to figure it out for myself. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know that I started on this journey at 16 years old when my mom handed me the 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teenagers. This is when my personal growth journey began. My mom has been on one for herself for the majority of her life, and she kind of passed that on to me. So for years, I was reading all the books and I was doing all the things, and I was going to the seminars, I was going to the workshops, and then I joined a network marketing company, and I was gung-ho in the network marketing company for a year, and they really prized themselves on personal development. So anyone watching, whether you're watching the live or the replay, if you're a part of a network marketing company, let me know, do they really encourage your personal growth, your self-development? That is when I was really going to see a lot of speakers all over North America. And as I became an entrepreneur, I was really forced to get into that vulnerable space to really face my biggest fears. But I didn't know why I had them. I had kind of an idea, and I was able to start peeling back the layers, the surface and the mid-level. But it wasn't until I started going to the deep spiritual teachers and healers and coaches and having that one-on-one experience, or the deep in-person intimate experience, that I started to be able to uncover these things. And let me tell you, it is mind-boggling. It is mind-boggling what you do not know about yourself. Let me know in the comments if you can resonate about that feeling when you discover for the first time a self-limiting belief or a pattern that you've had that's been holding you back and you didn't even realize you had that pattern. I've had a lot of those breakthrough epiphanies now, and every single time I'm like, how did I not see that? How did I not know? I've done so much personal growth work. I've done so much self-development. I've been doing this for so long. How is there still stuff that I haven't uncovered? And what's cool is I'm getting to the deeper stuff now, right? The deeper. It's like I've done the surface, I've done the mid-level, and now I'm getting to the real core root. And it is so freeing. It is so liberating. I have to tell you, it is so, so liberating. So anyways, I could go on for days. Number one, identify your core power leaks. I won't say that it's impossible to figure it out for yourself. For me, I spent years trying to figure it out. I thought I had figured it out. And yet I am still realizing that there is some deep core stuff that is coming up for me. And what's so cool is that the more I uncover it, the more I find my true voice, the more I find my authority, the more I find the belief in myself, the more I'm willing to put myself out there, the more I have to say and share with others, and the better I can lead others, which is my ultimate desire and the biggest joy in my life, is to lead and uplift and up-level other people. So that applies to you whether you're a mom and you just want to be an incredible mom for your family, or you're in a job, or you're partnered with a company and you really want to be an inspiration for those around you, want to be an amazing leader in your company. This could be you if you're in a job that you don't love, but you want to step out of that and you want to serve others in some way. Then you've got to be able to rise to that occasion and to be that leader. And it takes getting over some fears and some old stories that are buried real deep, and definitely the deepest power leaks possible, so that you can really rise as the leader that your soul and your heart is yearning for you to be for others. So, and if you're an entrepreneur, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. This goes without saying. So anyways, identify your core power leaks. Can you do it on your own? I'm not sure, because I tried for more than 1 decade and I couldn't do it on my own. For me, I needed someone outside of my head, right? When we're inside our own head, we can only see what our head allows us to see. Sometimes we're so blinded by our fears, we're so blinded by our one-sided perspective, our one-sided story, our one-sided experience. We don't know how to rise above that. We don't know how to break through that, because all we can see is the wall of that one story, that one perspective, that biggest fear. And we need someone outside of our heads to help us break through that wall. So that's what I did. That's how I was able to do it. I needed to find somebody outside of my head. Number one, identify your core power leaks. Okay, let's move on to number two. This goes back to the core power leaks, but healing and releasing them. So I'm gonna have a quick peek at the comments here. Healing and releasing the core wounds. Why would this be important? I would love to hear in the comments. Why does it matter? Like, is anyone here familiar with releasing self-limiting thoughts or old patterns or fears or anything that is not serving us and that is holding us back? Why is it not enough just to know that they exist? Is anyone going to be brave and share? Actually, I think I have a bit of a delay in the comments. Okay, cool. Yay, hey, Giselle's giving so many hearts. Thanks, Giselle. Okay, so number one is the biggest step. If you can identify those core power leaks, boom, like that is groundbreaking. That is game-changing stuff right there. But it's not enough. It's not enough. So number two is to heal and release. How do you heal and release your core power leak? Does anyone know? Yay, Beth Joy says they fester if they aren't healed. Yes, that's awesome. I'm starting to see the comments now. I guess there's just a little bit of a delay. That's okay. It's a constant unfolding to release things. Absolutely, Kate. Yay! Thanks, ladies. Okay, so to heal and release them, let's say you have a core wound around like maybe you were put up for adoption, let's say. And let's say you were put up for adoption and this is really, you know, messed you up a little bit, okay? So you don't understand why a parent would want to give up their child. It doesn't, as a little kid, you cannot wrap your brain around why your mom or your dad didn't want you, right? And you start to make a story around being unwanted, being unlovable, you know, well, yeah, being unwanted and not being lovable. And that's how your childlike brain perceives that story. But what happens is the story that our childlike brain perceived hangs on to that as truth. A belief is simply a thought that we have thought on repeat. This is something that I learned from listening to, from Abraham, Esther Hicks. If anyone listens to Esther Hicks or Abraham, let me know in the comments. So it makes perfect sense. A belief is simply a thought that we've thought on repeat. And guess what repetition is? It is the most powerful way to program your subconscious mind. So if you've been thinking a thought on repeat and you formed this thought as a child, and you just think of it, the perspective of a child sometimes isn't always accurate or isn't the truth. There's not really any maturity or hindsight or experience for them to formulate this thought. So they're just thinking, I'm unwanted, I'm unlovable, and they think it on repeat enough that it sinks down into the subconscious mind. And what we do is we become an adult, but we still have this thought, this belief now, because it's a thought on repeat. We've repeated it enough times that it's gone down into our subconscious mind where we may not even realize that it exists. We might even consciously say it doesn't exist. Oh yeah, my parents put me up for adoption, but you know what? It's all good. I'm over it. Water under the bridge. I'm sure, you know, it was the best thing that they could do for me, and you know, it's all good. And you could say that consciously. Maybe you even consciously believe that what you just said, but like believe that you believe it, if that makes sense. But what you may find, and this is just an example I'm pulling out of thin air. It might even be an exaggerated example just to help illustrate the point. But that person then might have relationship issues. This person might find it hard to stay in a particular relationship because they actually have a hidden, buried core wound or power leak that they are unlovable. They are unworthy of love, and everybody they love always leaves them. So can you imagine if you didn't realize that you are carrying around that belief so deeply buried, and then you're out in the world trying to find your soulmate or your partner, and you're just like, wow, like everybody always leaves me. As soon as I love someone or lean on someone, they ditch me. Wow, and your belief actually is a reflection of how you treat yourself. Like if you truly have that rooted belief that you're unlovable, chances are you probably haven't been loving yourself either. Maybe you haven't been taking very good care of yourself. Maybe you haven't been doing many acts of self-love. Maybe you hate what you see in the mirror when you look in the mirror, and you just say all these self-deprecating thoughts when you look in the mirror, and you have no idea why you do this to yourself. You have no idea why you don't love yourself fully, why you don't accept yourself fully, why you can't stay in this relationship for a long period of time, and you just think, man, maybe there's just no good men in the world or good women in the world. Maybe that's just what it is. Maybe I'm too old now. Maybe all the good ones are taken, right? And you kind of start to build a story to support the evidence in your life. But really, if you were able to work with someone who had that outside perspective, who was non-biased, who is not a member of your family or friends, because we have no idea if what they're saying is unbiased. Like maybe what they're saying is just to be loving and supportive, or maybe they're a member of the family and they're going to defend actions of other family members. So I'm talking about someone outside of your head and someone that is unbiased, and working with them to unfold whatever story is deeply rooted, so deeply rooted that maybe you can't even see it for yourself. So that example of being adopted, you know, it was just an exaggerated example to try to get the point across. But let's bring this into, let's say if you're an entrepreneur, okay? So if you are an entrepreneur or an aspiring entrepreneur, and you have a power leak that you don't like yourself. Ooh, something's coming through me right now. So I guess this is for somebody that's watching. This feels a little bit different right now. Okay. So if you have this underlying sense that you don't like yourself, and I don't know where this originated from, it could have originated from feeling like your parents didn't like you, or one of your parents didn't like you. Okay. Woo, this is crazy. Okay, this is happening live. If you're willing to let me know if this resonates with you, please do. I would love to know in the comments. So if you have an underlying feeling, or if you resonate that as a child you felt like one of your parents didn't like you, this could be in the form of you were a burden. Maybe you were an unwanted pregnancy. Maybe you were a surprise. Maybe one of your parents had their tubes done and they weren't planning to have another one, and yet here you are, you know, or anything along these lines. Maybe your parents were young when they had you. I don't know the reason, but if you had this sense that maybe you were a burden to one of your parents, and that they didn't actually maybe like you, or that you were a burden to them in some way. Of course, they would never say that to you. And if you ask them about it, they would flat out say, are you kidding me? I love you. There's no way you're a burden to me. But as a child, you developed this belief, whether it was true or not, it was just a thought that you thought on repeat, that you were a burden, or you were unwanted, or you were always in the way, or you were an annoyance, or you were causing fights between your parents, or whatever it is. Then you would think that thought on repeat, which would then help it. A thought on repeat helps it descend down into your subconscious mind, where our conscious mind is unaware, right? So that's why I'm saying you don't know that this exists anymore. It's just been buried, right? It's buried. And so now you grow up and you're an adult, but you still have this child perception, this child thought that you thought on repeat. Now it's become a belief buried deep, deep, deep down in your subconscious. And you have this, you carry the actions of, people don't like me. I'm not likable. I need to people please in order for people to like me. I don't want to step on people's toes in case they don't like me. I don't want to ask for what I want in case I am a burden. I don't want to put other people out. Let me know if this is resonating with you, because I just have this sensation that it's for someone watching. Maybe they're going to be watching the replay if it's not live. So imagine, stick with me here, imagine you try to become an entrepreneur and you have this underlying belief that you're completely unaware of, that you're not likable. So on one hand, you have these dreams to serve people, to help people, to elevate people in some way that is meaningful to you, right? Well, whatever that is. And at the same time, you have a belief that you're unaware of, that you are not likable. Could you imagine the effect that would have on you trying to grow a business? Can anyone let me know in the comments, whether you're watching the live or the replay, some things that might happen if you have an underlying belief that you are not likable or you are a burden, and yet you're trying to grow a business? I'm going to take a moment here and see if I can see some of your comments. I love Giselle's comment. Everybody loves me. It's true, Giselle. Eva says, resonates for me as well. Always been people-pleasing and tiptoeing, worrying about people liking me. Cool. Thank you for telling us that, Eva. Yeah, I hear you. Michelle's catching the live. Yay. Kate, resonates with me. Yeah, cool. Okay. So some of the things that could happen, as an example, let's say that you wanted to start a business, whether you are thinking about leaving a 9-to-5 and maybe starting your own business, you already are an entrepreneur, or you've partnered with a network marketing company, or you want to step into a leadership role in your company, in your job that you have. If you have this underlying need to be liked, stemming from one of your core power leaks, maybe from feeling like a burden as a child, or that you were in the way, or that you weren't fully liked and you weren't fully seen as a child, and you weren't loved unconditionally. You weren't loved for who you were. You were loved for the version of you that pleased your parents, right? Woo, who caught that? Who resonates with that? You were loved when you were the version of you that pleased your parents. So some of us are going to resonate with that. Some of us are going to feel like they were loved by their parents no matter what they did or how much shit they got into. But some of us are going to resonate with, I am loved when I am pleasing others, when I am a pleasing version of myself. Guess what? If you really want to step into your potential, your full potential, if you want to speak your full truth, if you want to speak truth to other people so that they can rise into their own truth, if you want to have authority behind your message, if you want to reach tens of thousands of people, or even just the people in your family, you've got to be a truth teller and you've got to be authentic. These are the people that attract a tribe. These are the people that attract an audience. These are the people that attract paying clients. These are the people that attract an amazing, what would we call them, team in their network marketing company. These are the people who have people rally around them and see them as their leader, because you are authentic, you're standing in your power, you're owning your message, and you may ruffle some feathers sometimes, and that's okay. You're telling the truth. You're telling people not what they want to hear, but what they need to hear so they can be a better version of themselves, and that's what you want to do for other people in your own way, whatever that is. Management in a company you love, being teamed up in a network marketing company, being an entrepreneur in health, in fitness, in mindset, in money, in love, in relationships, Whether you could be a photographer, you could be a janitor, I don't care. But until you release that major power leak, and in this example, just this example of needing to be liked, you will continue to second guess yourself. You will continue to not speak your full truth. You will continue to want to turn up the volume, but then turn it back down again because that might be too loud for people. And that might step on some toes and that might hurt some feelings. And you know what? If I shine this bright, I might make other people feel overshadowed or small. I don't want them to feel that way. And you feel responsible for other people's feelings, and you feel like it's your job to make everyone happy and to please them. And guess what? When you make everyone happy and you please other people, well, then you get to feel good about yourself, because that's how you fill your self-worth cup, right? You have this power leak of, I need to be liked in order to like myself. So you do all these things trying to be liked, which is draining. So you do more and you do more and you do more trying to fill up this cup that is constantly draining. This cup has an empty bottom, okay? So, woo! Woo! Don't know where all this came from, but I am loving it. I hope you are too. Let me know with some likes or hearts if you're loving this too. Okay, so number 1, identify your core power leak. Number 2, heal and release. There are so many ways to heal and release, so many ways, okay? So you could find someone who practices Reiki, you could find energy healers, you could, pray, you could meditate, you can do, there's many things you can do. I've gone to a healer in Bali, incredible. I've done retreats and anything that I can do to heal. But funny enough, the most powerful way that I've healed these things, like my deepest power leaks, and I love going to healers. I feel great after Reiki and tapping. Oh my gosh. There's a healer here on Vancouver Island. I feel like $1 million every time I go to see her. I've just done that once a year. But having your own regular practice of releasing this energy and these thoughts and these beliefs that no longer serve you is paramount, okay? So it's the difference between, like if you go to a healer, you see a healer once a year or a couple times a year or once a month, that's cool, right? That's like going to a spa and treating yourself to a spa and, spending the money, investing the money in yourself. But imagine if you were doing something every day that was ensuring that you weren't carrying any of this stuff and you weren't attached to any of these things anymore. This is like going to the gym on a daily basis or having a regular self-care routine. This is the kind of thing that I teach my clients. And there's actually there's a particular ritual that I've taught just a few of my more intimate clients that I'm going to be sharing actually live at an event that I'm hosting called The Awakening. So I won't spend a lot of time talking about The Awakening because you can always message me if you have questions about that. But this stuff that we're talking about here tonight, identifying your core power leak, healing and releasing it, having your own self-healing practice at home that you can do so that you don't have to, if you don't have the money, be, spending it on all these kinds of things outside of you. I can show you how to have a daily practice of your own. I can show you how to have a bigger, deeper one once a month, and that you can do at home in the privacy of your own home. And it's very powerful to have this consistent method of healing and releasing. So I'm going to train my clients that come with me to The Awakening how they can do this for themselves. Number 1, we're going to be identifying their core power leak, okay? So we're not talking about money mindset. If that's what you need, that's great. And we can touch on that, but we're going to go a little bit deeper than the money mindset and being open to receive and these kinds of things that I feel like you can probably do justice with online courses. But the stuff that we're going to be uncovering at the awakening is the kind of stuff that you can only really experience in person. I'm telling you, the power of being in person together is unparalleled to taking a generic online course or listening to a broadcast of a general YouTube video or podcast or book, right? These things are powerful and they're great to listen to on the daily. I do. But for this level, this deep of work, in person is the way to go. And I've been having that tap on the shoulder to really facilitate this for my fellow awakeners of the world. And again, awakeners are the people who feel called to step up in their life, step up into a higher paradigm, a different way of being of service to others, and being in alignment with their true, genuine self. Speaking their full truth, not speaking from their power leak, and not speaking from a need to fill that bottomless cup, but speaking in 100% alignment with who they are, their truth, and their true mission in the world. So I'm going to help my girls at the awakening get to their core power leak. We're going to be healing and releasing those together, and they're going to have a daily practice to take home with them. Let's get to number 3. Soul-inspired action with your newfound clarity. I touched on this just a second ago. There are a lot of people in the world, myself included, before I was able to uncover some of my power leaks. And like I said, we are always growing and evolving. So I'm going to continue to grow and evolve and uncover more things and move up and on from those. But the core ones I've discovered already have helped me shift into way stronger alignment with how I want to be showing up in the world, who I want to be, what I want to be doing, actually seeing it as possible, seeing it as already happening, seeing it as already happened, which is really powerful, and believing that I am that person for once and all, for finally actually seeing that. So here's what happens. If we are still living in attachment to our power leak, then what we're doing is we're running around doing all the things, trying to fill this bottomless pit cup, right? So in my example was you feel at your core that you're not liked or that people don't really like you. And maybe this stems from a core power leak of maybe there was a parent that you felt only loved you when you were a lovable version of yourself or when you were a pleasing version of yourself. So you learned that you needed to be a pleasing version of yourself in order to be loved. At least this is what your childlike brain decided. You thought that thought on repeat. It became a belief. It sunk down into the deep, deep, deep trenches of your subconscious mind, never to be seen or heard of again, but it's still there. And so now you run around in your life, people pleasing, saying yes when you really mean no, not speaking your full truth, not telling the truth even when people are outright asking you for the truth, tiptoeing, watering down, sugarcoating, doing chores for other people that you really don't have the time or energy to do, bending over backwards, all of these things. And so what you're doing is, even in your business, even if you started to uncover this layer, but there's still a part of you that holds back speaking your full truth in your newsletters if you have an email list, or in your videos if you do video, or telling your family what it is you really want to be doing with your life, but you're actually too afraid to admit to them fully and truly what you want to be doing. So you present it as a way that's more digestible and more pleasing to others. And so in this way, we will not step into our full potential. Not ever. And it's scary, you guys. It is scary how fast time goes by. It is scary. I'm telling you, I have siblings that are quite a bit younger than me. And so I'm kind of in this weird in-between of older sister / second mother gray area. And I mean, I was wiping their butts. Too much information. I was changing changing their diapers. I was burping them. I was bottle feeding them. I was teaching them how to walk, teaching them how to read. And honestly, I felt like I was doing this 2 weeks ago. Like it literally could have been like last month I was doing this. And they are 21 and 23 years old. Okay? Like what the heck? They are 21 and 23 years old. And I feel like I was literally changing their diapers a couple weeks ago. So for us to be in this place of, well, you know, I'll figure it out for myself, or I'll just read some more books, or, you know, I'm just gonna listen to this podcast and I'm sure I'll sort it out, or maybe I'll do this online course. Online courses are great. If I didn't believe in online courses, I wouldn't be offering them myself. So these things are powerful, but I'm telling you, the degree to which they are broad, like how many people have access to them, is in my, just loosely, like generically speaking, is how truly transformative they are, right? So if someone's doing a podcast to 1 million people, well, I'm sure it's great. Like I listen to Oprah podcasts all the time. I freaking love it. But do I have deep, 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 life-changing, subconscious, altering shifts? Not really. I'm entertained. I have some surface level shifts or aha moments. But that's about it. So I go for the online programs, and I have had deeper shifts in my online programs for sure that I've done. But it's the deep one-on-one or very intimate small group and ideally in-person things that I've actually had those shifts. So when you clear away your main power leak and you heal and release it, and ideally you're doing something a little bit every day to heal and to self-heal, which I'm going to teach you if you come to the Awakening with me in San Diego. We're going to do this, all of this we're going to do live together, which is super exciting. Hi to my girls that are already signed up and coming with me. Woo! San Diego. When you are in alignment with who you really are, and you're not trying to fill your self-worth cup based on this old paradigm, this old need to be liked and to be loved and to be validated externally, when you can release that and step into who you really are, well, there's going to be, first of all, so many more doors open to you. There are going to be so many doors that you didn't believe were possible for you, that you didn't believe that you could ever reach or be able to walk through, because you were too busy over here in the example trying to please everybody or tiptoe, that you never really attracted a true audience or a true tribe, or people were kind of hesitant to work with you or pay you, and you felt a little bit like, oh, like, why does this feel a little bit off? Or why does it feel like I haven't really risen? Why it feels like I'm not really embodying my highest self. It feels like I'm embodying maybe a 3/4 version of myself, or a bit of a watered down version of myself. So when you can shift out of that and into your truth and your power, you're going to see so many different options start to open up for you that they come in your eyesight, okay? Your soul sight, maybe I should say. And I want you to take soul-inspired action from there. So no longer are you, okay, this person's telling me I have to do webinars. Okay, I gotta buckle down and I gotta figure out how to do these webinars like now. Okay, I hate webinars, but who cares? This person who's super successful is telling me that I gotta figure this out, so I'm gonna do it right now. Oh wait, now this person's telling me that I've gotta do live Facebooks all the time. Oh God, I don't want to do that. Oh no, I really hate being on video, and I don't even really watch video, but this person's telling me I gotta do it, so I gotta do it. And you're so scattered and it's so chaotic because you're not taking soul-inspired, soul-aligned action. You're a little bit outside, you're a little bit misaligned, and you are running yourself into the ground trying to figure out why it's not working, why you're not having the momentum you wish you were having, why isn't your tribe growing, why aren't people seeing you as a leader, you know, why aren't the paying clients coming? Why? You know, in whatever way this relates to you. And really, it's just because there's a shift that needs to happen. And you can feel it. You can feel it when you click into place. And when it clicks into place, that's where your enthusiasm comes from. That's where your excitement comes from. That's where the authority in your voice comes from. That's where your clarity comes from. That's where your guidance comes from. That actually creates momentum for you. And it has nothing to do with what everyone else is doing or what Joe Blow thinks you should do and Jane Smith thinks you should do. It's what you know you're meant to be doing. So whether you are in a company that you enjoy being a part of and you really want to rise up as a leader, you won't be that fullest version of that leader so long as you are still attached to that main power leak in some way. Or if you are in a 9-to-5 that you want to leave and you're toying with the idea of starting your own business, there is nothing more powerful that you could do than to this work right here. And the earlier you do it, the better. If you are already an entrepreneur and you're not seeing the momentum that you know is meant for you, you've felt it, you've seen that it's possible, and the way that you know it's meant for you is because you desire it in your heart. If you have that desire in your heart, it's for a reason. It's meant for you. That's why it's in your heart. And if you're not seeing that momentum, if you're not seeing the action, the clients, the feel good, the doors opening, the green lights, you feel it when you're in flow and you feel it when you're not. And if you're not, if it's feeling more like a grind or the have-tos and the shoulds are piling up and there's not really much to show for it, it's time to start digging deep. And what most people will do is they will start trying all these millions of different things outside of themselves. They'll be like, maybe I'm supposed to do funnels then. Maybe I'm supposed to do webinars then. Maybe I'm supposed to do Facebook Lives then. Maybe I should do what this leader over here is doing. Maybe they got it right and I don't. So the more that you're like trying to emulate everyone else, the less you're tuning in to what you're meant to be doing, your soul-inspired, soul-guided action. And it may be completely different from what everyone else is doing. So the longer that you don't do this work, the longer you can spin your wheels. And 21 and 23 years can go by just like that. In fact, I always reference this book by Bronnie Ware, The 5 Regrets of the Dying. She was a palliative care nurse, and her patients, before they passed, they would always impart, they felt they always wanted to impart some wisdom with her. She started taking notes because there really was a pattern with what these dying patients were sharing with her. And so she started to categorize the top 5 regrets of the dying. And the number one by most people, most clients she had was, I wished I'd lived a life true to myself and not the one others expected of me. Now, I don't know about you, but I feel that has some people-pleasing aspect to it. I feel that has a bit of carrying a lot of weight around what other people think and acting in accordance with that. And if that's not cool with you, if you really want to step out of the people-pleasing, if you want to start living in alignment with the truth of who you are, your highest self, and reach your highest potential again and again and again and again, this is what you want to do. Steps 1, 2, and 3 right here. Now, this stuff took me years to do and to figure out. But what I'm going to be doing is facilitating these shifts and transitions for the women that come with me to the Awakening Live event in San Diego. There aren't very many spaces left. I don't know how many even after tonight, because I notice I'm getting some messages here. I don't know how many are going to be left even after tonight. So if you have any questions around the Awakening, I would ask them now or go to the link. Actually, I'll drop the link in case anyone wants to look, because I have an FAQ section on the link. So I did have a lot of questions over the weekend around the Awakening live event. If you have any questions around that, feel free to ask me right now or have a look at the link below. So I'll post that. I'll just grab it right now for you. So what do you think? How does this, Giselle says, San Diego! I'm so excited, Giselle. We're gonna have so much fun. Let me know about this topic. Let me know if it resonated with you. Let me know if the examples, if they were helpful. You know, did that help clarify what I was wanting to pass along? Did it resonate? Can you see how this would be beneficial for you in your life? Let me know. I love feedback because that's how I know if I'm serving you in the way that is most impactful for you, which is what I want. I want to make sure that I'm sharing with you the information that you want, that is going to help you, that is going to elevate you, so that you can go out into the world and elevate others. Let's have a look. Here we go. Okay, so I just posted it here. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna have a quick peek and see if there's any questions. If you're watching the replay, you're welcome to ask any questions as well. Maybe tag me and then I'll be sure to see it. If you remember, that'd be great if you could tag me. And I'll just see if there's any questions here. Good, Eva says this so hit home. Thank you, Eva. And thank you for letting me know that it made sense, because I can get on a real tangent there sometimes, and I feel like my body just takes over, and I have no idea if what I'm saying is making any sense. So thank you for letting me know. Yay, Giselle. Michelle McLean, I love this. Thank you, Michelle. Cool. This is awesome. Yay, Beth Joy says yes. Catching you live. Cool. Okay, thanks, ladies. Thank you, gentlemen, too. If you're watching the replay, you're welcome here, too. Last thing that I wanted to mention, if you feel this message could help anyone that you know, if you could share this live, I really do want to reach as many people as I possibly can with this message, because not only do I know from my own personal experience, but I see it all around me now that my eyes are open to it, where people are wanting so badly to be of service to others, and yet, and they are, in most cases they are, but they could be so much more powerful in serving others and being way more magnetic and way more effective, and probably way happier and more fulfilled by being in more in alignment if they would do this kind of work, if they would really close up any of these power leaks and really step into alignment with their truth, rather than you know, getting out there and serving a lot of people, but maybe there's a bit of a power leak going on with the people pleasing, or feeling like they're unlovable or unlikable or whatever it is. And if we have that belief, it can really pull us out of alignment in the actions that we're taking or not taking, and the words that we're saying or not saying. If you think about it for a moment, the people that, at least for me, that I really look up to and I really admire, they speak their full truth, and they're not afraid to ruffle feathers, and they are the truth tellers of the world, and they don't claim to be perfect. They share their messy bits. They teach what they've learned. You know, there's something about them that's very raw, very real, very authentic, and it may not resonate with everyone, and that's okay. And it may not, you know, be the popular thought or the popular thing to say, and that's okay. You know, think of those people. They are truly magnetic. These are the kinds of people that aren't worrying about people pleasing and if they're being liked or not liked, or what people think or don't think, or are they going to get a negative comment or not. So if any of these things are hindering you in stepping up as the leader you want to be in your company, as stepping up as a true, powerful entrepreneur in your business or in your network marketing company, please do share this video with as many people as you possibly can, because I truly believe in the power of this work, and I feel like we can all rise together. So I'd love for you to contribute to this conversation. Let me know in the comments below what you took away from this video, what resonated with you, and if you're willing to share, that would be awesome. If you have any questions about the awakening, this is exactly the work. We're doing some deep, deep, deep work. Originally it was going to be a 2-day event, and I was like, you know what? Saturday morning, we are deep diving. Like, there's going to be no small talk on Saturday morning. So I decided to add on the Friday evening. There's going to be a meet and greet gathering on the Friday evening, because I want to get all the meet and greet stuff, the chit chat, the small talk, all of that out of the way, because Saturday morning, it's on. I hope you'll join me in San Diego. Sign up if you haven't already. Well, there's still a couple spaces left. Let me know if you have any questions. I will see you next time. I love you so much, my fellow awakeners of the world. Mwah!